place, a new home for a while. Let me feel alive. Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride.
Yeah, so we've had the car for almost 10 months now, which seems crazy. It's gone so quick. I thought I'd do just a bit of an update on what we think of the vehicle over time we've had it. Yeah, it's been a pretty good vehicle. I haven't really had any major issues with it. I still don't really like, one of the biggest things I don't like still is the lag when you first take off, you know. The throttle response isn't that great still, and it's a bit laggy to start with, but once you're up and on the go, it's great. Power's pretty good. Like, towing the caravan, it does a great job. Even up hills, it pulls up hills, no worries. Pretty happy with that, how well it tows the caravan. Stoked with that. What do you think, Trent?
Yeah, the lag just annoys me when you're at like an intersection and you need to go, and then you put your foot down and nothing happens.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's fine.
What about you think about parking it? How do you go with parking?
Look, I can park it. Sometimes it will take me like a 5-point turn to get into a tight car park. But in saying that, I think any car I would take a 5-point turn to get into those car parks because I'm not very good at parking. And considering the size of it, I feel like I can park it pretty well, considering I'm not good at parking or driving. I like that it's really comfortable. Like, I often forget that I'm driving a ute. I feel like, kind of just feel like you're driving like a normal SUV a lot of the time. You kind of forget that it's a ute, so that's nice.
Yeah, I don't seem to have too much trouble parking. It's pretty easy, especially with the reversing camera and side camera. Makes it a lot easier to park. I usually just reverse into most parks.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah, because it's a lot easier to get in reverse. I think the turning circle is pretty decent, really, for a vehicle of this size. With the cruise control, when you're towing a caravan, it doesn't seem to hold the speed too well because it's not really calibrated for towing a caravan. So to fix that, what I do is I just put it in manual mode, and I drop down the gear to 7th gear and let it stay in there, and then it seems to hold speed alright. It's also better when you're towing anyway to be dropping down 1 or 2 gears because it's just a lot easier in the gearbox. So the motor doesn't have to work so hard, so gearbox won't get so hot. So it's a good idea anyway. The paddle shifters on the steering wheel make it really easy. It's quite handy. So like I just put it in, put the cruise control on, and then let it do its thing. And then if I want to go up a steeper hill, I just drop it down the gears using the paddle shifters. So yeah, that works pretty well for me, doing that.
My Apple CarPlay stuffs up sometimes. I'm not sure though if it's my phone or the cord or the car, but it'll like just disconnect, which is really frustrating when I've got like maps on and trying to drive somewhere that I don't know how to get there, and then it turns off halfway through. Yeah,
we're not really sure. We have to test another cable to see if it's just your cable or your phone. It seems to be fine with my phone. I've got an Android phone. It seems not have any issues with that.
And my old iPhone had no problems. It's just the new iPhone.
It seems to be the new iPhone 13 she got seems to be causing issues. So we'll have to look at try a different cable and see if that fixes it.
But the new iPhone also, like when you connect it through Apple CarPlay and like say someone calls you, it like echoes. Hey, so like when I'm talking to you,
yeah, it seems to repeat.
Like echoey, so we can't really talk on the phone when it's plugged in.
For some reason, when she's connected through the Bluetooth, when she calls me, everything I say gets repeated, so I can hear myself speaking back. That's kind of annoying.
So then I just have to have it on like speakerphone instead of like connected, which is a pain. But again, I didn't do it with my old iPhone. It's just this new one. So I don't know if it's just like a phone problem or what.
Don't know whether it's just the new iPhone 13 is causing the issue or just the cable. We'll have to do some further testing on that and see what's going on there. Let us know if any of you have the same sort of issue with your Canon. Interesting to hear.
Nothing to hold me back. Take my time, just enjoy the ride. A new man passing by. Life is good, best I've ever felt. Get me up, somewhere new, somewhere I can.
We just came for a drive up to Mount Tamborine, just have a look at the view. Just thought we'd discuss our plans for the next few weeks. So we're going to take the GWM Cannon and tow the caravan around Australia. I'm not sure how long I'm going to do it for yet, but if we go all the way around, it'll be at least 25,000 k's, so it'll be a really good test for it. So if you're keen to follow along our journey and see how the Cannon wears over the next year or so towing regularly, make sure you like and subscribe so you can see our upcoming videos. So we plan to just get rid of everything in the house pretty much, pack up everything, only take what we need in the caravan and just go from there. I'll probably still be working on the road a few days a week. We'll be posting videos regularly. Okay, so another thing I thought I'd mention is the DPF filter. So that comes on, DPF burn will come on quite regularly. So to avoid having to do a manual burn, like I had to do that once where the lights came on, you know, the check engine light came on and it put it in limp mode. So it means you had to pull over and manually do a DPF burn. It takes like 20 minutes. So I think to avoid that happening, because it's kind of annoying when it does, whenever your DPF burn comes up on your screen, on your little dashboard there, just make sure that when you're driving along, I usually put it in manual mode, that way I can keep the revs a bit higher. Because I find if you don't, like, while it's doing the burn, if you don't keep the revs up a bit above 2000 RPM, I don't think it does a proper burn. So if you're continually doing that, I think you're sitting in like a bit above 1500 RPM, over time I think it builds up too much and you have to do a manual burn. So I think, that's a good idea, is just to make sure when it does come up, just sit, use your paddle shifters and just keep your gears sitting above 2000 RPM. So that way you should avoid that. Yeah, the paddle shifters are really handy, especially when you're towing and going up and down mountain ranges and stuff, because you can really control exactly what gear you're sitting in. So you can use that rather than the engine braking a lot more than having to use your brakes so much, which is really good. It's also good when you're off-road in the sand, etc. You can just move up and down the gears using the paddle shifters. So I quite like that. At first I thought it'd be a bit of a gimmick, the paddle shifters, but actually pretty good. I quite like them. The gearbox is quite good. It's pretty smooth. Picks the gears pretty well. I haven't any issues with that. So overall, pretty happy with the car for the price. Like, I think it seems like it's pretty well made. Like, there's not really much panel gaps or anything like that. It looks pretty well put together. I think GWM have been manufacturing for like 25 years. So with this left-hand passenger door, also it can be a little bit difficult to close properly sometimes. If I just that closed fine that time, but sometimes I find when you close it like that, it doesn't quite close properly, and you've got to lock the car and it won't actually lock. So you got to make sure, give it a good slam. All the other doors are fine. Just seems to be that one door.